Hello! Today I am going to do the Disney book tag. This tag was created about a year ago to celebrate the release of The Isle of the Lost, which is a prequel novel to the Disney Descendants movie, and it's all about the Disney villains. Recently they released Return to the Isle of the Lost, which I have not yet read but hope to sometime soon. And they also released a teaser for the new Descendants movie, which I'm really excited about. So it kind of inspired me to do this tag, even though it is a bit older and nobody really tagged me to do it, but that's okay. I'm gonna do it anyways. So without further ado, let's get started. First up, we have the Little Mermaid, a character who is out of their element, a fish out of water. For this, I'm going with Gwyneth Shepherd from Ruby Red. She's just a normal girl living in 21st century London when one day she discovers she has a time travel gene that goes through her family. And she is yanked back about 100 years into the past and is then expected to learn how to blend in a bunch of different time periods. That's a lot of pressure right there. Next we have Cinderella, a character who goes through a major transformation. For this one, I'm going with Amy Cahill from the 39 Clues series. Her transformation is definitely not an instant transformation, but from book 1 to book, I'm not even sure what book we're on now. We're on series 4. She is almost unrecognizable. I think even at one point her own brother is like, is this really my sister who just about a year or two ago was this timid little, yep, that's her, that's her. Big changes, big changes. So number 3 is Snow White, a book that has an eclectic cast of characters. So for this I'm going with Heist Society by Ali Carter. Each character brings a separate set of skills to the table in order to pull off this great big heist. If one of them were to walk away, they would not be able to do it, and it's not just because of numbers, it's because of the skills that they bring, and they are just an awesome group of people and really fun to read about, and yeah. Number 4 is Sleeping Beauty, a book that puts you to sleep. I don't have a copy of this book, so I'm going to put a picture of it right now. A Spy's Devotion by Melanie Dickerson. I don't think I actually fell asleep while reading this book, but the problem is it has a very classical and lyrical writing style, which is not a bad writing style, but it doesn't really work for me. And I tried reading this book right before going to bed every night, and I was tired and it just didn't work for me, and it just really made me kind of drowsy. In some cases because it relaxed me, and in some cases because it bored me. Overall, did enjoy the story though. Number 5 is Lion King, a character who goes through a traumatic experience in childhood. For this I'm going with Grace in All Fall Down. She definitely goes through a traumatic experience when she sees her mom die, is convinced she was murdered, convinced she knows who the murderer is, and nobody will believe her, so she thinks that she is going crazy, but at the same time believes she knows the truth. Number 6 is Beauty and the Beast, a beast of a book or a big book that you were scared of, but once you actually read it, you found to be beautiful. I also don't have a copy of this book, so I'm putting a picture right now. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I know this is not the biggest book out there, it's definitely not the biggest book that I have read, but it was pretty intimidating to me at the time. I actually took a little break from reading of about a week before I started reading this book because I had just finished a book and I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, and I was really looking forward to that book, and I was like, I don't want that same experience with this book, so I'm going to take a break from reading, and I took my time reading this book, and I'm so happy I did because I really did enjoy it. Funny how it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling for the Beauty and the Beast category in this tag. Next up is Aladdin, a character who gets their wish granted for better or for worse. For this I am going with Meggie from the Inkheart trilogy, particularly in the Inkspell book. Because she wishes to go into the Inkheart book, she finds a way to do that, and she gets into it. She finds out it's really not what she thought it was going to be. Number 8 is Mulan, a character who pretends to be someone or something they are not. For this, I'm going with Mila from Mila 2.0. Mila discovers really early on that she's actually not human, she's an android, and therefore has to continue on hiding the fact that she's an android from every single person she meets who doesn't already know her secret, which is pretty much everybody on the planet except for a handful of people. So next up, number 9 is Toy Story, a book with characters that you wish would come to life. For this one, there is no way I cannot go with Cat Royal. There is such an amazing cast of characters in Cat Royal. They are so funny. I just want them to come to life. I want them to like take me on their adventures and like get into and get out of trouble and just hang out. And finally, number 10, Disney Descendants, your favorite villain or morally ambiguous character. So for my morally ambiguous character, I am most definitely going with Billy Shepherd from the Cat Royal series. You never know what side he's on. You never know, like, if he is going to stab your back the moment you turn around, or if he is going to stop somebody else from stabbing your back because there's something else that he wants from you. Alright, so that was the Disney book tag. I hope you kind of enjoyed it and maybe found a couple of interesting titles that you might want to check out at some point. So now I just have a question for you guys who are watching. Who is your favorite Disney character? And if they weren't included on this list, how would you include them on the list, and what would the question be that you would answer to find a book for or a character for? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Ciao!